can now welcome the venerable, veritable, esoteric Ernesto Yeboah, who is an activist. He animates and personifies the very art of activism. He's a very solid man, and he's led a lot of chants, which I don't want to talk about here because it is not related. But let's give him a round of applause as he mounts the stage to share with us his ideas on the formation of CiC, among other things. Oh, you can do better. Let's welcome the young man.
Once again, thank you very much. Very privileged to be here. Yesterday was the 24th day of February 2022, marking a very historic calamity that befell not just our nation, but Africa, and indeed all Africans across the world. Among some of the conversations that the remembrance of yesterday's dates brought about in the public arena was the justifications that some sought to provide for the illegal overthrow of Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah and the Convention People's Party government. Among some of these justifications was that Nkrumah was removed for the creeping dictatorship during his administration. He was removed from power for imprisoning political opponents and all of that. The question we should be asking ourselves today is whether these justifications don't find expression in today's context. Aren't our politicians corrupt? Are they not stealing blatantly without care to public concerns? Are they listening to us? We are talking about not wanting e-levy, and they say e-levy you shall have. Almost everything is attributed to e-levy. That this is why we must have e-levy. Without the understanding that these are a people who have a history with taxation. And I'm sure all of us know our story with poll tax. And we all know our story with VAT, which led to fortunate killings and all of that. Now, along this is the architecture of the state itself, or its disposition to coup d'etats. And so we are told that the 1992 Constitutional calls coup d'etats. But is that the fact? Is that the fact? And I'm sure this forum has the capacity to digest some of these issues that I am teasing out. Anybody who is visiting this country for the first time, coming by air, lands at our airport, Accra International Airport, which bears the name of somebody who facilitated the legal overthrow of a constitutionally elected government. Kotoka. And there is a decree to that effect. The Kotoka Trust Decree NLCD 339. All of these are in force. Talk about the proscription of that party that legitimately held the mandate in this country, the Convention People's Party. And according to this 1992 Constitution, it says that that party is proscribed and has all its assets forfeited. That comes under the NLC Decree 23, Forfeiture of Assets Decree. Then we can talk about the criminalization of that legitimate leader that the people had elected at the time, Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. And he is criminalized as upheld by this same constitution by NLC Decree 119, which says that anybody who receives communication purported to have emanated from Kwame Nkrumah, the person is enjoined to report to the nearest police station or military barracks for Nkrumah's arrest. So, this is the posture of the state, from the airports to the constitution to its injunctions and all of that. And yet, under the same constitution, some people are languishing in police custody for merely wishing and stating that they were ready to carry out a coup d'etat themselves if the e-levy passes. What hypocrisy and what loud silence by the historical society. This is why organizations like these are important. Because one of the most important aspects of history is that it is an instrument for checking the conscience of society. History demystifies the future from being an accident. Without a sense of activism, history teaching and history learning as a profession is irrelevant. And so if we cannot raise fundamental questions on these, and in asking ourselves whether we truly have a democracy or not, then it speaks volumes of the kind of society that we live in. And that's why I am confident that this forum is the right place to have this type of conversation. Our brothers and sisters in South Africa, upon realizing what their past had been, that their past had been about the land and their dispossession of that, how do you call it? Space. Even when Nelson Mandela came out of prison after 27 years, told the people of South Africa that it is time to forgive, Rainbow Nation, we are all one, forget about the land. The youth and people of South Africa are still hard and strong on the land question and are fighting it out until they get their legitimate base. Thankfully, we had the likes of the Yeboahs and the Mensa Sabes who prevented that calamity from happening by sending a delegation to the British Parliament to argue on the question of our land and how that land cannot be taken away from the people because it is only held in trust by the chiefs and not the personal property of the chiefs. This reminds us on the need to take action in the present in order to forestall or protect the future. And that is why it has become very important for us to demand for a new constitution. And in demanding a new constitution, we are simply saying that this current constitution, the 1992 constitution, is a criminal imposition on the people of Ghana. If you have a constitution that tells you that we are all equal before the law at the early pages, and then at the latter pages of this same constitution, it tells you, no, we are not all equal before the law, and it has indemnities. And let me read just one of the aspects of these indemnities. It says, Article 34(2), it is not lawful for any court or any tribunal to entertain any action or take any decision or make any order or grant any remedy or relief in any proceedings instituted against the government of Ghana or any person acting under the authority of the government of Ghana, whether before or after the coming into force of this constitution, or against any person or persons acting in concert or individually to assist or bring about the change in government which took place on the 24th day of February 1966, on the 13th day of January 1972, on the 4th day of June 1979, and on the 31st day of December 1981, in respect of any act or omission relating to or consequent upon, then it goes on. A, the overthrow of government in power before the formation of the National Liberation Council, and then goes on and on and on and on and on. This is what we are talking about. We have a constitution that indemnifies coup d'etats. It indemnifies those who participated in it. It indemnifies those who threw away the First Republic. And let me remind us, this is not a fourth republic, it is a false republic. False republic. You can be louder. Thank you. So, this is where we are. Where we ought to ask ourselves whether we indeed have a democracy or we don't. And if we don't, what do we do? In fact, when it came to the attention of the chairman of the Constitutional Review Commission, Professor Diajo, is a legal luminary, that the indemnity clauses in this constitution should be removed. He said that the entire constitution will collapse if the indemnity clauses are to be removed. So on what basis do we have a constitution which legitimacy is based upon the inequality of all in society? What kind of constitution is that? Because when a constitution says that I am projecting democracy, democracy is founded on the principle of rule of law. And under the maxims of rule of law, we have equality before the law. And so if that same constitution is telling you that we are not equal before the law and that some are over and above the laws of the country and are immune from democratic accountability, then it is important for us to be asking that questions and not just asking but leading that charge to have a new constitution for our country. In consonance with the evolutionary nature of the past human activities we study as students of history, we are at a point in history that we must consider becoming actors than mere students or teachers of it. If we sit idle, the changes that would occur around would be starved of the necessary human agency. And when this happens, the generations coming will not be interested in them as important phenomena for historical considerations. And so this is where I bring this illuminating conversation to a close. And I know that it is going to inspire further discussions and research that would push our nation forward.
Thank you very much.